Evening, guys, and welcome to October's Cringe of the Month. You will notice that this came out as a premiere. That is because this will be a topic that is very much new, and I will be waiting at least for 1 minute starting now. As I say, now let me just talk for a second about why. This will be a very spoiler talk because this Cringe of the Month is about a movie that I just saw today. This video will be coming out, as you are now watching, on October 28th, which is actually my birthday, so happy birthday to me. But I'm recording this on October 27th, and people know where this is going. There's a movie that came out just tonight, or today. Five Nights at Freddy's. Me and my sister, just 2 minutes ago, got home from watching that movie. And let me say this very first. I fucking love this movie. And again, the only one of my first major problems with it, I will say this first offhand, and I apologize, I've talked about this a few times, if not. I don't like that it's rated PG-13, but as the movie went on, I accepted it and I got used to it, and I still love it. Could it have worked with rated R? Oh, absolutely, but I don't think they were going for the gore fest. They were definitely looking more of the story sometimes. First, spoiler, I guess. Matt Pat is in it. He is in the movie. Same with Corey. So congratulations to both of them, and to all you Matt Pat whining crybabies who were whining that he wasn't in the movie, there you fucking go. This movie, I will say it like this. It is Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's very much 90% based on the games. It is in that area. Names are not important except for two of them. Michael and William Afton. Although, Michael going by Michael Scheid. And I will say, on the way home, me and my sister were discussing on the way home a few things that we thought are the reasons why. And I'll explain. Michael, currently a very fucked up person because, as we know from Five Nights at Freddy's, and anyone who does know this, his brother gone. Evan is gone, or as it's known in this movie, Garrett. Garrett is gone. He was kidnapped, and for so long, Michael has been using both sleeping pills and some kind of freaky medicine, I guess, to try to find who it was that kidnapped his brother. This has also resulted in him losing countless jobs while also trying to take care of his sister, named Abby. I believe that's not her name in the lore of this game, but also, it was never canon that was their names. Eventually, he comes across a guy who's been helping him get jobs, and he points him to a night guard shift at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. But at first, he declines because he doesn't work nights. This changes because Michael's aunt, his aunt, wants Abby because she just, as Michael has said in the movie, she just wants her for the check from the city. She's basically like when some women will falsely accuse their husbands and fathers just to get a freaking child support check. So we start. It works very well with certain things, like Night 1, just like in the first Five Nights at Freddy's game and a bunch of Five Nights at Freddy's games. Nothing happens on the first night. We kind of are just introduced to Freddy Fazbear's. We do get glimpses of the animatronics. We got our classics. Then we get to the second night. But not in the night. No. This happens in the day after Michael had left. But also, before I get to that, we are introduced to another character, Vanessa. That's right. Vanessa Vanny is in this movie, and she was all right in this movie. But there's one thing about this movie that it was a very bad choice. I'll talk about that soon. In the day, I'm just moving my computer because the cord. Okay. The day after Michael leaves, his aunt rounds up a bunch of guys because, of course, she's trying to get Michael's sister to ransack Freddy Fazbear's to get Michael fired. They do this, but it awakens something. The old Freddy crew. And I remember, like, during the hype up of this movie, there was one thing that fans hated, and that were the red eyes of the animatronics, that they weren't black. Also, that's something I should talk about. The fact that these are not people in costumes. These are actual animatronics. They built actual Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, Foxy, and a cupcake that move around. I could be wrong, and there could be people inside the costumes, but for a good chunk of this, when they're actually moving and acting on stage, that is truly animatronics. That is not special effects. That is not people in costumes. That are actual robotics. And here's where you remember it is PG-13. Because while they kill these people, you don't see it. And it was at this point where I remembered something from the trailers of Five Nights at Freddy's that I didn't understand, and I still don't understand. For some reason, they decided to beef up this damn cupcake. It's not Bonnie that gets the first kill, it's not Foxy, Freddy, or Chica. It's a damn cupcake that gets the first fucking kill. And this is I get the feeling they were trying to make it like Bon Bon from Sister Location. But it just doesn't work when it's a fucking cupcake killing you. Animatronic or not, it's still you're dying by a cupcake. And these are the things that show that this is made by people. Also, this is made by Blumhouse. The same people who made Megan, and my fucking god, Blumhouse, I believe actually is how you say it. They are going banger after banger with horror movies, mate. Yeah, we get Chica killing in the kitchen, and we got Bonnie killing someone in the closet, which I will definitely admit that they at least get away with a little, as much as they can with PG-13. Which even then, this is why I don't like PG-13. Back in the day. When you look at certain movies, they're still PG, but they are so bloody as hell. Let's look at this. Jaws. The very first Jaws is PG. I don't know, man. I just feel like, and again, they didn't want people, I guess, screaming, and they didn't want to focus on gore. Except for maybe one scene, which they did do, and my sister was very excited that they did this scene. They got Bonnie. The only reason they really got away with this, but like it was Bonnie, was you just saw the bloody hand of his victim. You got Foxy with his classic chase scene, and I love the heavy sound and the doop 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 doop. He's doing that little song that he hums before killing this motherfucker. And then there comes the kill, which I did not really care for, mainly because I liked this character and I hated that they had to kill her. A character named Jill, who was the babysitter for Abby when Michael would leave. Apparently, she was working with Michael's aunt to get Abby by trying to find dirt on him in exchange for $2,000. She gets killed by Freddy, which it's introduced like we all know that the gist of Freddy Fazbear's is that it's kids possessing the animatronics. It's the ghost of the kids haunting the place. The way they do that in this movie is you'll see kids and you'll hear them. Michael sees them in his dream. But they're also there. The way they do this, there'll be the kids and then they'll just become the animatronics. With Freddy, it's this... Jill's following this kid with this blonde-haired kid to the back where she finds Freddy. She hears him saying, "Closer, you're almost there." When she stands there and looks in Freddy's mouth, hand comes up, pulls her in, and this was probably their second best kill in the movie. You see the shadow, Jill getting pulled in completely halfway up Freddy's mouth, and chomp! Bites her in half. I'll admit to this, I leaned over to my sister and whispered, "Was that the bite of 87? I couldn't help it. What happened next? I just saw that fucking... I was having too much fun watching the movie to think about what I was going to talk about. Yeah, we get more stuff of Michael trying to be both a good caretaker, but also trying to find out what happened to his brother. Eventually, he takes her to Freddy Fazbear's, and just so happens, Vanessa is there with all the animatronics. Oh, no, that comes later. I skipped ahead. He does take her there, but it's because he couldn't find a sitter because Jill is dead. Michael, like a dumbass, after already being accused of the one ransacking the fucking... being accused of criminal accompaniment or whatever because Vanessa found his sleeping pills. It tells him to stay alert. When you're at Freddy Fazbear's, you stay alert when you're the security guard. He still fucking falls asleep with Abby in the room. Abby then hears noises. Something about Abby. She talks to these kids. She sees the kids. Michael wakes up to her screaming. All 4 animatronics are around her. And then we get... There was a very popular meme picture. Let me see if I can find it. There was a very popular picture going around for a while that people were like making fun of, like they were hoping it wasn't going to be in the movie. Chris, I know it's in here. Oh, here it is. This very infamous picture of just the animatronics and the characters just standing around. I thought it... No, this does happen. But it's not what the videos of everyone, like, saying... It's not what they all thought. What happens is... They're active, but it's more their entertainment mode, which in the movie, and I'm positive they've said in the game, the way these animatronics would work back in the when the place was up and running, the animatronics were able to walk freely around and interact with the kids, kind of like how how Security Breach, you had Freddy, Chica, Roxy, and Monty. You'd think of them just kind of walking around and interacting with the kids at business. That's kind of what they would do here, I guess. But here, they're just tickling her when she screamed because she thought she was going to die. And they just play. They play with the animatronics. They don't take the route that... I remember me and my sister were talking about this. It definitely did not go with our expectations of how this movie was going to go. But not the bad way. Or it didn't... It was not what we expected, but we're glad of what it was. So, next night, again, he brings her there, and again, this is where Vanessa happens, and she gets fucking pissed that she's here, because she doesn't want her here, because she kind of, it's hinted that she knows what happens, because as they're all building a fort together, but also before that, sorry, I know I'm off topic even for a movie I just saw. Forgive me. Vanessa tells him the first time they meet that the kids went missing in the 80s. And the second time they meet up, he's trying to get more information out of her of what the hell happened. But she seemingly isn't saying anything. So, get more interesting things going on. Then, here's where stuff really starts picking up. To feel like he needs to protect Abby, Michael agrees to a court order that would send her away to live with the aunt, who they both don't like. This obviously upsets Abby and crosses out his face with black marker over all these pictures she has drawn, and that's another important thing, because apparently the animatronics love pictures, hinting at all the pictures you'd see on the walls of the games and the offices. Also, before I go on, I want to say this. The little intro of Five Nights at Freddy's, it's introed in the same way that you had those little cutscenes in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 with Evan. It sounded like that, and you'd see William in that Springtrap costume luring the kids and killing them. There is a good amount of knowing the property and staying to it, but also taking your own risks and also fan service. The fan service, thank God actually, takes the backseat to everything else. There's very limited fan service aside from Matt, Pat, Corey, the intro, and the outro, which I will get to. Next up, we get that. We get Abby locking herself in a room while Michael is at Freddy Fazbear's. He's having another dream where this time, except usually when we see Michael's dreams, it's his brother getting kidnapped and him running after, and we then see him interacting with the ghosts of the animatronics, the kids. And he's begging them to help him. They ask, "What will you give us?" He agrees to anything they want. Freddy, or at least the little kid inside of Freddy, says he can change the past. He can have what he wants. Evan back. All he has to do is give up his sister. Like an idiot, he says yes. Very quickly. Well, not quickly. He's kind of takes a little second or two. But he does say yes. But then he almost immediately takes it back, saying it was a mistake. That's not what he wants. Too late. He said yes to the deal. The animatronics, or the kids, then start attacking him and try to kill him. Then cut back to the house where Abby is. Freddy's there. He's already killed the aunt, kind of like in Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, where you see Ennard crawling in, except this time it's Freddy. There's no other animatronics, it's just the main guys, which I'm almost glad of. Also, before I go on with anything, this movie is getting a fucking sequel. There's no doubt in my mind. If I always go to this movie franchise, if Friday the 13th can get 12 damn movies, Five Nights at Freddy's can get another movie. I would hope there are at least 5 for FNAF 1, 2, 3, 4, sister location. Anyway, back to it. Freddy lures Abby back because they want to make her an animatronic. They are going to stuff her in a suit. We then, and this is where my sister and me got a little upset at the writing. Again, this is a major spoiler for the movie. So again, if you haven't watched this movie, but you don't give a rat's ass about spoilers, fine. If you want to watch this movie before anything, and I will put a big damn title at the beginning. This title will be very specific to not watch this. Even in the disclaimer, I will make sure I am saying do not watch this before watching the movie, unless you are okay with spoilers. It is revealed. Vanessa reveals everything. of what's going on at Freddy's, that there was a man behind it who was killing the kids and he was stuffing them in the animatronics because it's the one place he wouldn't look. It's not just the ghosts of kids, it's their bodies that are in the suit. How does she know all this? William Afton is Vanessa's father. That completely trashes the story, man. At least for the games. William is supposed to be Michael's dad. There's even a scene in the beginning where Henry, I believe his name is, and that's another thing, I guess, if you know lore, you know what might happen in sequels. He is shocked to see his name. Shied. Because it's supposed to be a fake name. His name is supposed to be Michael Afton. So, knowing that Michael is not William Afton's son, it makes seemingly no sense why he would react to this. And also, Phone Guy, shocker, Phone Guy / William Afton is in this, and it's Springtrap. Springtrap is in this movie. So Vanessa now revealed that it was her father that kidnapped and killed Garrett. So she does begrudgingly help him just by giving him gear, and she says the animatronics don't know what they're doing because of William's control over them, and she says if she's there, she won't be any help. Understandable. It's just so stupid. We get to the final thing. We get to Michael saving Abby. We see Abby seemingly having fun with the animatronics, not really knowing what's going on. Then Chica leads her away. We get a very smart scene. We get a very creepy scene element. Michael breaks through the vent, and the quick turn of Freddy's head, with all the lights stop blaring, his eyes stop going, his seemingly going from. And I'll say this: the emotion, you could so clearly see the emotions on these damn things. For lifeless animatronics, they are so full of emotion, and you can see it. From when they're threatening, from when they're happy, to sad, to just fed up with certain things, or even joking. You can see it. And the way they use the eyes, and admittedly, the black eyes probably would have gone over well for little details of stuff, but I like the red eyes for more that showing that it's William controlling them, because when they're just hanging out with them, when they made like a fort, or when they're just playing, their eyes are white. It's plain white eyes. But when they're red, that's when they're controlled by William. That's when the influence of Afton is effect. We see Chica leading her away, and we get Michael using an old tub of water, and along with tasers that Vanessa provided him, short-circuit Bonnie and Freddy. We then see Chica leading Abby to the back room, not good, with the empty baby suit. Chica then grabs her and is attempting to put her in the suit. William helps by tasering Chica in the eye. Then we get another scene with a cupcake looking like it's all powerful. Obviously, he saves her and shuts off the cupcake. Then we get the reveal of Michael Afton in the Springtrap costume. It's the way these things look is damn near perfect. I love it. Then out of fuck all nowhere, Vanessa does show up to help. She's pointing a gun at her dad, and admittedly, yes, it is her father. But I'm also thinking, woman, that is your dad has killed many of children. This should not be a hard choice, because Afton is saying, oh, these know their loyalty. You seem to have forgotten yours, and I'm your father. You're not going to use a gun on me. Bull crap. And me and my sister agree. We're lucky we didn't get we could do this together. If we worked and fight together, we can defeat them. They don't do that. Everything you think this movie might do, they don't at times. There is certain stuff they do that could be predictable just by knowing the game, But the stuff that you think, the cliches that they might do, they thankfully don't. And, yeah, Vanessa shoots her dad. And then her dad stabs her with a big-ass knife. He then gets ready to kill Michael, but last ditch, Michael tells Abby to draw because the yellow rabbit, Springtrap, is always shown in drawings as this nice thing, this thing helping them, keeping them together, controlling them. Michael tells her to draw what really happened, to show them who he really is. We get that scene. We see that the animatronics finally see that William is the reason killed them when they were alive. They all turn on him, and then we get the spring locks. That was the main thing that my sister wanted to see in this movie. That's the thing that got my sister to watch this movie, was she wanted to see William get spring locked. And again, it is so good for PG-13. But man, I wish the suit covers a majority. We see like where this one piece is. Let me move up a little so I can. We get this the one piece of it like really digging into his like clothes. And we see the blood of it. But I really, if not our MA, where we could see it to where the suit is not in the way, we can actually see the claws of the spring locks digging into him, and we don't just see it like a clean thing. I don't know, man. It's just the little things can both be effective and ineffective to take you out of it. And as the buildings are collapsing, as the animatronics are dragging a convulsing Springtrap, William and Abby save Vanessa, who is apparently not dead. I am so glad of that, because, okay, admittedly, when I saw them, I was kind of rooting for them to be a couple. They just, I don't know. They don't need to do that. I actually hope they don't do that, but I don't know. It just looked cute. And by the end of the movie, we are shown that not only has Michael seemingly just moved on, he's now a lot more happy. We saw a scene at the end, Springtrap convulsing, twitching in the shades of the trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's 3 with the picture and shit. We see him convulsing and twitching like crazy while he's still getting impaled by the spring locks. Like holding his hand out to Freddy and getting the door locked on him. But then, again, if I had to rate this movie, I give it an 8/8.5. It could have done so much worse, trust me. The worst thing they did was making Vanessa William Afton's father. I'm looking for something. Well, I just gotta do a little research, because the biggest fan service is at the end of the movie. But also, the little, like, end scene. Throughout the movie, we got mini jump scares with fucking Balloon Boy. Yes, Balloon Boy is in this goddamn thing, but it's not the animatronic or the thing that will kill you. It's a little doll no bigger than, like, this cup. And he gets, like, 3 jump scares in the damn movie. He gets the last scare of the movie with Corey in the taxi. Alright, yep. Yeah. That's the movie. It is so good. But at the end of the credits, we get the classic. But not the normal version of that. This is where I knew they know the fandom of this movie. If you haven't seen this, just know they know the fandom of Five Nights at Freddy's, because this plays at the end of the movie. If you don't know, this is the song by Living Tombstone. That song they did for Five Nights at Freddy's 1. I admit, I clapped at that, man. The fact that I didn't clap for the movie, I clapped that they got this song. They put this ridiculous YouTube song in a fucking movie. Again, there is no chance in hell that this is not getting a Five Nights at Freddy's 2. If it doesn't, that is a goddamn shame. This movie, while not perfect, it is, in my opinion, exactly what a Five Nights at Freddy's movie should have been. This is exactly what a debut Five Nights at... Some people might disagree with me. They might say, oh, this is what isn't what we're expecting, or this didn't reach expectations for a movie that people have been fucking demanding for fucking years. But for what we got, this is exactly the movie I at least pictured, I was hoping for. Something entertaining, something scary. Admittedly, I was not scared of this at all. Something creepy, something that told story, that wasn't just jump scares, that wasn't trying to scare the shit out of you. This was trying to tell the story. And admittedly, some things they could have changed, but what they did give us is perfect for what a Five Nights at Freddy's movie should be. Fan service as little as possible, which is what it should be. A movie like this should not have fan service. A movie like Super Mario Brothers, that and the fan service in that is crazy, but it should be there. Little Easter eggs and shit like that. That's a movie that does work with fan service. Five Nights at Freddy's does not. Because it's supposed to be scary, it's supposed to be creepy, eerie. It does work with not that much fan service, and even when it should use fan service, it should be what this movie did use. A little cinematic intro with the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 cutscene style of Afton killing kids, and and if you want to, Living Tombstones, some music. I swear to God, if they use DA Games or fucking what's the other one? Oh god, DA Games and son of a bitch, I'm fucking blanking on this shit. JT Music. Oh my god, if they use music like that for the sequels, I will shit myself, man. That is so cool. And the people behind this, oh my god, that had to be so cool for them knowing that, man. Anyway, end of this. Also, one last thing. Markiplier better be in the damn sequel. Matt Patton is the reason people know the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. He's the reason people know the story and the little hidden things. He's the reason people know that. Markiplier and Felix, PewDiePie, they are the reason this is a global phenomenon of a fucking franchise. Without Mark and without without Felix and damn sure without Mark, this would not be as mainstream pop culture icon as it is. It would have stayed an indie horror game. It would have stayed a one game thing. Maybe Five Nights at Freddy's 2, but damn sure not 3, 4, Pizzeria Simulator, Sister Location, Security Breach. There would be no fucking crazy ass fucking fan games. The two that come to my mind are Five Nights at Fuckboys because of Mark. And The Joy of Creation, which also was a great story. Games like that would not be a thing without Five Nights at Freddy's. So many fucking good songs like this, like Living Tombstone, JT Music, and DA Games are having their crazy... Even the Five Nights at Freddy's musical that Mark is in, that wouldn't be a thing. The pop culture impact that Five Nights at Freddy's had is because of Markiplier. I will fucking fight for that. Anyway... Hope you've enjoyed this Cringe of the Month. This is arguably one of my longest Cringe of the Months because this is brand new. I'm somewhat fresh memory. But again, aside from the 8.5, if I gave this a letter grade, a high B+, medium A-. It is definitely a movie I would highly recommend watching. Later, guys.